Hello, my name is Rachel. I own a small business called Fields and Fire Company where we do ceramics and fiber arts. I work at a community studio here in my home at Seattle, Washington. So I can't do a traditional kiln unload. I'm not responsible for unloading the kilns. But I do like to do these monthly videos where I show off everything that I got out of the glaze kiln in the last month, tell you guys how I did it, what glazes I used, and, you know, get a chance to show off some of what I'm proud of. So, also, I just recorded this entire video and then realized that this mic had turned off. So really hope that doesn't happen again. But hey, I guess it's practice. Okay, so first off, these are a set of wall planters that I made. And this one unfortunately broke, and I did try and fire the piece that broke and glaze it so I could super glue it back together. But community studios, so I have no idea where it went. That's okay. Also, my roommate saw these on my desk and was like, "Did you make boobs?" Anyway, not where my head was at, but now I can't unsee it, and I'm like, maybe I could knit a bralette or something, and it could be like an even kitschier sort of wall decoration. Anywho, so glazes, or how did I do this? So I threw a bowl, and then I trimmed the bowl so that it was completely spherical on the bottom, cut the bowl in half, rolled out a slab, and affixed the bowl halves to a piece of flat clay, which is now the back. And then this is just a little texture roller from MKM. Glazes that I used. This is Coyote's Enchanted Sunset, which is a very pretty blush sort of color. The specific variation kind of has a staticky, sort of fuzzy kind of feel to it, which is nice. And this is Coyote's Night Sky, which is, you know, at first glance, kind of a greenish, grayish celadon. But what's really cool about this, and was a pleasant surprise for me, is when it pools in texture like that, it kind of creates this little light blue speckling crystallization, which I really like. And on the inside, it's just like a white liner glazed from the studio. Yeah, so I'm not exactly sure what I'm going to do with these. I might have to put them in the bargain bin since one is broken. Or, like I said, maybe I'll get really plucky and knit something, knit a bralette for them and lean into the joke. I don't know. Cool. And just so you know, everything I'm showing today was on Laguna B mix clay and fired to cone 6. Okay, you are still on. This is a hand-built slab plate that I made, and what I kind of want to, what I did on this one that I think is cool is I built it and then I put it on the wheel and centered it, and then while the wheel was spinning, did some decoration in Underglaze. This is Saks True Flow and some Amaco Velvet Underglaze, and I really like the way it came out. It kind of reminds me of like if you're looking up at the sky at night, but you're spinning really fast. Kind of has that galaxy sort of look to it. And on top of that is just the Clay Art Center in Tacoma. They're zinc-free clear. Let's see. This is a little teacup that I made. Honestly, I'm not exactly sure why I made this because I have a hard time imagining that someone's going to buy just a tiny teacup, but maybe they will. It was good to test glazes on anyway. On the outside here is Coyote's Sunrise Shino. So, you know, as a Shino, it has some variations to it based on where it was in the kiln and, like, you know, the oxygen it was exposed to. And then on the inside is Coyote's Matte Green, which I can only describe as the Statue of Liberty. It so looks like tarnished copper. I really, that is all I see, which is certainly a look. I feel like it could be cool on the right thing, maybe on a teapot, sort of look like a metal teapot that's tarnished. Could be cool. The next so many things that I have to show are part of a line of Zodiac mugs that I've been making. So they're all made the same way. And I'm not going to do them in order because, if I'm being honest, I don't know the correct order for astrology signs. I'm not really that into astrology, but I thought it would be a fun set to make. And I glazed these all in different colors, shamelessly based on what Google suggested the color palette for each sign was. So I'll start with this Libra cup. As far as how I made these are Underglaze transfers from a company called Sanbao, SANBAO.com. They have lots of great Underglaze transfer sheets, and all of these came on one sheet, and so I just cut them up. Threw the mug, trimmed the mug, and then rolled out a thin slab for this emblem, put the Underglaze transfer on the emblem, and then affixed the emblem to the mug and handle. So as far as glazes, I did do Underglaze embellishments on all of these, or at least most of these transfers as well. So this was Amaco's Rose, their Velvet Underglaze Rose, and as you can see, it burned out at Cone 6, which I knew was a risk. So don't love that, but that's okay. Glazes, this is Coyote's Texas Rose, which came out way more hot pink than I was expecting. I thought it was going to be a little more of a mauve sort of color, but c'est la vie. And on almost all of these, but not all, I did a band of honey flux at the top. So 2 coats honey flux and then overlapping 2 coats of whatever other glaze. On the inside here is pearl white. And I did a band of something at the top of the inside, but to be honest, pearl white just takes over everything. I learned that from making these. So really just looks like a floating white on the inside, but yeah, there's a close-up of the Texas Rose. This is the Cancer mug. This emblem did crack, and I kind of just went with it anyway. I don't know, Cancers are unhinged or something, right? Just kidding, Cancers. I don't know enough about astrology to say that. So this glaze is Laguna's Atlantis Aqua. And on the inside here is I think Coyote's Violet way down there, and then I did a band of honey flux over the violet, which turned very yellow, so not the best, but I do really like this Atlantis Aqua glaze. It flows very nicely, and again, a band of honey flux at the top. That line of Laguna glazes claims it's for Cone 5 specifically, but most of them I've had okay results at Cone 6. Like, I don't have any pinholing on this guy, so. To keep going with the Laguna glazes, here is the Aquarius. This is Laguna's Power Turquoise, which I love. Has lovely depth of color, and just comes out like this rich blue. Also pretty wild, like the raw glaze, like the liquid glaze, is an intensely neon blue color. It's kind of wild. Again, band of honey flux on top. And on the inside here, this is also pearl white. I think I did a band of like lavender mist on the inside, but again, you cannot see that. Okay, so here I have the Pisces mug. And I believe that this is also Atlantis Aqua by Laguna, but it is a slightly different color. So I'm wondering if perhaps either I applied it more thick or I'm wrong. But I just looked at my glaze collection. I don't have another color that looks like this, so I think this has to be Atlantis Aqua. A little close up there. On the inside, again, pearl white. I think with a band of lavender mist, maybe. Again, very hard to tell. Here is Sagittarius. Sagittarius has Mayco's lavender mist on it. Which, you know, I will say, when they say that lavender mist can go brown when it's thin, they are not kidding. It's very, so, you know, my takeaway here would be to be very careful with lavender mist about applying it nice and thick if what you're going for is that beautiful light pale purple float color. But overall, I think it's still very pretty. And on the inside here is pearl white with Coyote's violet in a band, which also went very yellow. So I learned that Coyote violet and Flux turns yellow. Today I learned. Here's the Leo mug. I really didn't have much in the form of orange glazes. It's not really a color that I use. So I use Sunrise Shino. Which I think, you know, it's in the right realm. It's very kind of like rustic orange. And I will say, I really liked all of these Underglaze transfers, but this Leo one, I think they tried to make it too detailed. And so it kind of just gets lost in all of the ink that's on there. At first glance, it's almost hard to tell it's a lion. On the inside, this was another learning moment for me. I wanted a beige, so I used Amaco's oatmeal. Turns out Amaco's oatmeal looks gross by itself. Legitimately, I picked up this mug off the glaze shelf and I looked inside, and for about 5 seconds I was like, why is my mug moldy? That brown model inside, it looks moldy to me. I'm hoping that a prospective customer might be like, oh, it's woodsy. Reminds me of mushrooms. I don't know. Mushrooms, mold, fungus. These last two, I did not do a band of honey flux on because I thought it would sort of ruin the vibe. This is Aries, which is my month, or my birthday. I am an Aries. And really pleased with this glaze. This is by Penguin Pottery. It's called Fire Road, which was in the specialty glaze sample set that I got from them. And this is just a really complex, really cool looking glaze. It does kind of look like molten lava or something, but it's also very shiny. It's really, really cool. And if I was going to order a pint of one of their specialty glazes, I think it would be this one. On the inside, I did Coyote's Really Red with a band of Spectrum Pearl White over it on top to get that flow. And then last but not least, this is the Scorpio mug. This is Coyote's Brick Red, which is a super deep, saturated red, which, you know, it's very uniform, but it is a very beautiful color. On the inside is Coyote's Satin Charcoal, which is just a very dark gray satin sort of glaze, which I like. I recently got a huge shipment of Coyote glazes, so definitely got a chance to try them all over the last couple months. Yeah. And if you're wondering to yourself, where is the Libra or the Capricorn mug? Those will be in next month's kiln opening. And I showed off Taurus and Gemini last month. So if you want to see those, go to my video history. Okay, last but not least, very much not least, this is by far the project that took me the most time in this last couple months. This is a hand-built basket. Milo, stop. This is a hand-built basket. So it kind of looked like an asterisk from a slab. And then I folded up the ends of the asterisks and I fixed it here. This is a texture roller from MKM, which I applied before folding it up. So while it was still flat on a slab. And then as far as glazes are concerned, on the outside, this is all Amaco Celadon. So the white is Amaco Snow, the light blue is Lagoon, and the dark blue is Storm. And then for this rim, this was actually extruded using a little hand extruder with a triangle-shaped die. So the clay came out in like a triangle tube, and then I strung it back and forth, kind of like a ribbon. And it was kind of a risky move. I thought that maybe this was going to come out really sharp, but it didn't. I did file it down in the bisque stage some. But yeah, so really like how that came out. On the inside, I also took a risk and used a glaze that I'd never used before, which was Amaco Potter's Choice Blue Spark, which super happy with that. That risk definitely paid off. It is, again, a very complex glaze. It's like black, but green, but blue. And it has this lovely rainbow sheen in those crystals. Super excited with this. I was so happy, which is good because I think I probably spent like 5 hours glazing this thing. And that doesn't even include the time it took me to build it, which was also probably like 3 hours. Okay, that's all I have to show you this month. Thank you so much for coming and watching. Again, my name is Rachel. It's great to hang out with all of you guys. And I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. See you soon. Bye.